What are the most common mistakes y'all are seeing companies make when they're starting their AI journey? And I think Kelly, we could start with you and then go to Adam on this one.
Yeah, absolutely. I hit on people earlier, but I'll switch over to the technology side. I think, you go, well, hey, does everybody feel like these models are capable enough? And Adam talked about the concept of how much determinism do I build into my agentic process? Maybe my agent is just an orchestrator. I say just, I mean, that can offer a lot of benefits, but I don't give that agent a lot of probabilistic leeway. I think models are good enough that they are, if you give them the right guidelines, they're going to do a very, very good job. A very good job. I think it's up to us to help say, do we have the right data in place? We've talked about that earlier, all the different sources that potentially an agent can use. Do we have the right are those agents or those AI assistants or those agentic workflows, they have access to the right tools? And then Adam again talked about context, talked about focus. Are we asking agents to do too much? Are we making the job too hard for them? And you saw what Adam demonstrated earlier, and kind of took this overarching super agent approach, then boiled it down and said, look, this is when I go to this one thing that I want this agent to do really, really well. You saw those instruction sets coming up in that agent. Here's what I need you to do. Here's the data set you can operate around. Here are the rails. I think when you can start doing that, those all wow, how did my model get so good, right? So because you're trying to make it just like we've done with BI reports, let's make it easy to for a user to consume with a BI report, the right models, the right data. You have to think about it the same way with an agent. And I think beyond that too, it's not just what I talked about early on with moving. It's Adam talked about this medallion architecture and progressing from bronze to silver to gold, and that gold layer today with say a Power BI report versus an agentic workflow that's being driven could be different. And I think you did a great job of showcasing some of those differences. How do I get that into a metrics view and Databricks that an agent can consume? So all those things you go, wow, there's nothing left for me to do. There's a ton to do. There's more to do now than we had 6 months ago and a year ago and 2 years ago. So last thing I'll mention on this thing, kind of a third dimension, is really take a look at you talk about how do I want to make sure this thing works in my organization and not make a mistake. Think about using this notion of determinism, and you can do that through skills, you can do that through instructions like Adam showed. Reusable, shareable, repeatable workflows. Agents are really, really good at that. Really good at following instructions. I'm not going to tell you they're not going to go off the rails once in a while, but if you can group that around the rails that you need, that can be something that can be an absolute accelerator within your organization. I think it's a great place to start too, because it'll keep you from hopefully, having some of those fails right out of the gate.
Yeah, totally makes sense, Kelly. Adam, you want to weigh in here?
Yeah, just briefly, and Kelly, that's a great takeaway with the last 4 years, how things are evolving, and I feel like over that 4 year span, in the last 6 months, it's been even exponentially, accelerating even more, right?
Yeah.
I feel like now discussions we're having 6 months ago, it was still AI was, in full enterprise use, wasn't anywhere near where it's even is at today. So I think where some people might have had a bad experience, right? How do you avoid that? We talked about context. We talked about, having, focusing on that semantics and structure there. As at our company, at our annual meeting in January, we brought everybody together. We did there's a program called CRIT, right? I think it's the AI driven leader. It's a great book out there. But basically, it's a context, role, interview, task. And it's just sometimes people might not sure the best way. So one that was interesting about that, provide the context, right? What role do you want AI to play? And then the interview was the one that was new to me, right? I never was asking AI to say, interview me up to 3 questions till you have enough context. And then once you do, here's the task I want you to provide. But, without that, sometimes you put your prompt and you say, oh, go do it. And it said, well, it didn't give me what I wanted. right? It made some assumptions based on the limited tasks or limited context you provide. So anyway, just a little note there. The other thing, not just in general, we use only paid kind of services, right? We don't use any of the free because we want to make sure that, so if you're just getting new to it, you might just be trying the free services. But if you're starting to use it from an enterprise level, make sure you're getting some type of enterprise account or a paid account, so that way you're not letting the tools train on your exercises.
Yeah. Adam, I love that. By the way, what struck me as you were talking, I was thinking, and I don't remember when I started using it. You talked about leveraging Claude as one of the predominant models out there, but at some point, not in the not too distant past, I started using plan mode with Claude Code, and that, to your point about not just shooting models off into all different directions here, that plan mode with that sort of interrogation of me about what I wanted, what am I looking to do? Hey, does this plan make sense to you? Made all the difference. And I'm trying to remember as you were talking how far back when I started using that, because it's just a daily habit now, is I go into plan mode on these big create type things or big build type things. And I totally agree with you that the capabilities are there really on any model to do that. So another thing that I guess just for me, I think if I didn't have plan mode today, I'd be wasting a lot of time on building an agent or a process or whatever it is.